All righty, it says I'm live. All right, welcome everybody. MacBean. I figured why not? Let's start the old watching Prepper Nation. So today we're going to talk about nutrition. Now, when I talk about, I'm not talking about needs calories. There. All right, Beaverines, here we go. So everybody, thanks for coming in. 3N, good morning. Eric King, how you doing? X-Guards, Gunslinger, appreciate it. I have to move my phone. Let me be right back. So I'm gonna move it over a little bit, see if that improves the signal. Right there, Banks. So when I'm talking about calories, I'm talking about just getting calories into you. Calories are going to be protein to build muscle, carbohydrates to give you energy, and also help that protein become muscle, and vitamins and minerals for health, and to have your body run. I mean, your body is a machine if you don't have the right fuels in there. So let's talk about vitamins. I always say a multivitamin is a good way to start the day. Take it with food, because a lot of these vitamins will cause some upset stomachs. And your multivitamins has a good amount of what you need every day. Don't rely on just vitamins for your nutrition. You want to try to get as much of it as you can with food. Remember, a vitamin is a supplement. A supplement is to support what you're doing, not to replace what you're doing. All right, cold and flu season is coming upon us. So Mrs. Scottish Fitness was complaining about she wasn't feeling well yesterday. So I told her to up her dose on vitamin C and zinc. These are two of your most powerful minerals and vitamins for your immune system. Now, your body stores zinc, but it does not store vitamin C. So vitamin C is something that you can take in larger doses, and probably best to take over time. Hey, good morning, Granny. Hey, welcome. Thanks for coming in. 10 Mountain Prepper. How you doing, brother? So vitamin C, I generally take 1,000 milligrams first thing in the morning. I take it again in the afternoon. And if I get home early enough and my stomach feels well, I take it again at night. Chief Indian, good morning. How we doing? Zinc, I take once a day. If you are sick, then you can take it a second time, but I wouldn't do any more than that. Now let's talk about magnesium. Magnesium is definitely for 2 days now. So we're already kick up to C and zinc. Generally, the common cold takes about 5 days to get over if you're taking vitamins and minerals. In cold medicine, if you don't, it takes about a week. If you're a smoker, it can hang on for weeks. So magnesium is important for over 600 reactions in your body. Magnesium sources are generally your vegetables. And then B complex. So B complexes are good for energy, and they're also good for your cholesterol. B3, the niacin, is good for lowering cholesterol. Your B6 and your B12s give you energy. Those 5-hour energies are really super B complexes. So breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I generally have 2 of them when I first get up because my stomach is tired. Hey, Raven P, thanks for popping in. I'll have a glass of milk. So what I drink is Fairlife, whether it's 2%, whether it's whole, whether it's chocolate. And the reason I go with the Fairlife milk is it has half the sugar of regular milk. It has 50% more protein. So adverse to regular milk having about 8 grams per serving. This has 13 grams. And because of the workouts I do and the vigorous schedule I have, I need a lot of protein. Generally, I try to get about 1 gram per body weight, but generally my intake of protein throughout the day is about 200 to 250 grams. Remember, your brain needs 90 grams of protein to function healthy. Yeah, about an older bit, I'm getting back to it. I put up 405 and 410 for the 3rd time in a row yesterday. So I'm feeling good about that. And I think for the 450s and 460s, I should have it probably by the early part of the year. So I'll get the old cooking heated up here. And like I said, when I talk about nutrition, I'm not talking about, hey, fat man, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. I'm not talking about boring foods. I'm talking about foods that taste good. You're not going to eat breakfast and you don't like what it tastes. So my breakfast always starts with, most of the time, let's do an oatmeal, bacon. Why bacon? So they cook in the bacon grease. Animal oils are better than seed oils. Also, a quick shout out to Cutco knives, which I use quite often. If you get a chance, go see my sponsor, which will be in this description at Cutco Knives, Lucky O'Day. So I start with about 3 strips of bacon, and the bacon I get is from the butcher. I no longer buy the store brand ones, only because this is better, and a lot of times it's not much more. And actually, lately it's been about the same price. So I'm getting this about $6.99 a pound. When you cook it, it doesn't disappear on you like some of the bargain stuff is, and it's very flavorful. This is bourbon and brown sugar bacon. Beaver Marines, there we go. U.S. came in the morning of northeastern Washington State. Oh, I appreciate it. While you're having your coffee, so have some breakfast too. So the bacon is provides some protein. There's about 3 grams in there with those slices. I also get some breakfast sausage. And I cook that. Actually, I'm going to break it up, so I'm just going to kind of flatten it up now. And then once the bacon and the sausage get cooked up, I'll pull them out. Then I'm going to cut up the potatoes. Now, the potatoes are from my garden. So these I grew this year in 30-gallon grow bags. Paradise Acres, how we doing? So 30-gallon grow bags. I had a really good crop. I did 5 of them with potatoes. I did 3 of them with peppers. I think 3 of them with tomatoes. They all did well. The only one that didn't do well was the zucchini. The zucchini just needs more soil than the 30-gallon grow pot can give you. So next year, I won't do the zucchini in the grow pot, but I will probably do more potatoes. So I harvested about 150 potatoes out of those. So I feel really good about it. So yes, bacon. Yes, gotta have bacon. Still looking for those bacon seeds. But until then, I buy it from the Hy-Vee down in Bloomington, Illinois. I drink about 1 gallon of this a day. My eggs I get from the neighbor down the road, so I get fresh eggs. Big difference between the color of the yolk of a fresh egg and when you get in the store-bought. Because remember, when you bought a store-bought, no matter if you're getting cage-free, grain-fed, whatever it is, those eggs are probably 3 to 4 weeks old before they hit the shelf. The ones I get fresh, when I pop them, I got a nice dark orange yolk. Whereas if you look at your regular eggs, you have more of a light yellow. Nothing wrong with it. The nutrition's still there, but you're probably losing. Oh, quail eggs are better. I got to get some of them. It was a bitter critter or one or the other, and maybe Rabbit Coyote told me about quail eggs. So the problem is I tried raising pheasants, and I ended up discovering just how many coyotes and weasels were in my area. So I gave that up after 3 years. And chickens are allowed. My buddy's got chickens. Neighbor down the road's got chickens. I like to sleep in the morning at least 7 o'clock because I work until almost midnight. So, to Papa's Farms, thanks for stopping in. Pepper Nation, John, how you doing? A little cream at Pepper Cowboy. So the creamer I use for my coffee is just some sort of Irish cream. All right. When you think about it, it costs about the same amount as a creamer. It's very low in alcohol, and about a half a shot in my coffee in the morning makes me a happy guy. So while that's cooking, I slice up the potatoes, and I just cube them up. I don't really skin these because I grew these. There were no pesticides involved whatsoever. I don't believe in them. I also don't use weed killer. I use a rototiller and manual labor. The farmer who sits there and plants on my land, I make sure that he has to give me about 100-foot gap when he sprays his fields. Because one time he hit my garden with the weed killer, and we had a conversation afterwards. So now they go out a little bit further. I understand in modern farming, you almost need it. Remember when I was a kid, and they'd have the cultivators and that, which probably was more friendly to the environment. But so, potatoes, great source of vitamin K, vitamin D. Remember, vitamin D is also very important for immune health. During the summer, I don't take any because I'm outside all the time. And being outside means that I'm producing all the vitamin D that I need. There we go. But during winter, I will take vitamin D. Now, vitamin D are one of those vitamins that there's a certain amount that's good, and then over that, probably not so much. They say anywhere from 5,000 units to, I guess, 30,000 being the max. I know one guy was doing 30,000, his skin started turning orange. Didn't make him popular with the Democrats. Bada boom. Okay, there's my one joke. A good breakfast takes about 40 minutes to cook. So this is something that's part of my morning rituals. After breakfast, I will go for about a 3-mile hike, which I also video those. Sometimes I have rants in those. I wait till I get about 10 minutes into it before I do, so I don't piss off the YouTubers that are watching it. My channel is mostly about fitness. So as of yet, I have not gotten in trouble with YouTube. Or some of y'all might have. My philosophy is butter makes everything better. I like butter. We had chickens for 5 years. Last year, we did not because of the health issues. I couldn't stand it anymore. We had to go out and find chickens. There we go. Eggs and bacon. I like butter. I like homemade bread, but I will put on a lot of weight. When I make bread, I make it tasty. Honey, brown sugar. And I can put on a quick 10 pounds like nobody's business. So basically the bacon is for cooking. It's also for good eating. Sausage is to add protein to the mix. I'm also getting a lot of protein between the milk and the eggs that I'll put in there. And the spices I usually use are salt and pepper. I'm basically a salt and pepper guy. Every now and then I'll throw like a chicken spice in there. The wife will go out and buy something. Here is one, Marty Embry's from the court. He's a basketball player. He used to play with Walter Downey, who I went to high school with. He played for the Boston Celtics for a little bit. So I bought that. And then we did one here when we were at the Trading Post. Montreal chicken and Montreal steak and then Lawry's seasoned salt. And those are my spices for life. Lots of pepper, no salt. See, I can do salt. I usually do sea salt if I'm going to do it. I don't put a lot in there. I'm not that type of person. The wife likes a lot of salt. I had a buddy who used to salt cured hams. I couldn't believe that. So, what else we got? Okay, Karen, how we doing? We got vet something. Somewhere in Texas. Here we go. If he has a motorcycle, not at this time. I do not have a motorcycle at this time. I raised 3 kids, sent them to private schools and all that stuff. It is on the agenda I just haven't found the right one. I need a rather large one. The wife and I can ride. We're both big. And all the ones I see for sale are little Sportsters, and they're not even big enough for me. But I had a motorcycle when I was younger. I had dirt bikes, and I had a Harley, and all that went away when I started having kids. And when I get older, then I'll probably pick up another one. But right now, it's just not on the priority list. Hey, Simone, thank you. I appreciate it. I do watch John almost every morning when I can. Sometimes I miss the Sunday chats, Sunday night ones, because I'm out with the wife. And surprisingly, she would get a little upset if I started watching a YouTube channel when we're having dinner and drinks. Man's got to know his limitations. So basically, I take the bacon out and let it drain. Remember, I'm using the oils to cook with. I'll cut that temperature down. You don't want to cook too fast. So remember, vitamins, minerals, to keep yourself healthy. With no iodine. Yeah, and you are right. And I do have the regular salt too. And that's a good point, because you do need the iodine in your body. So Raven, thanks for bringing that up. It is important. Salt is something you do need, and you do need it with the iodine too. So Redmond real salt is delicious. Yeah. The one funny thing I've seen on some of like those Himalayan salts and the pink salts is they put an expiration date on there. There is no expiration on salt. Sodium chloride is sodium chloride. It doesn't spoil. You can break it back into granules. You can use it as long as you don't get it wet. But that's one of the jokes out there. Redmond real salt. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I do have it in the iodized salt. It is one of your preps. So I have probably 15 of these downstairs. And basically, one of my moms show up, Mrs. Green. I'll introduce you to Kat Binks. She's still out there. Hey, Binks, where are you? Here, Kitty. Binks, sir. Okay, she's mad at me. I have a feral cat that become my buddy over the years. For 5 or 6 years, I went and get within 30 feet of me, and now it's basically attached to me. There's lots of videos out there with her. But I think she went out hunting. She was looking at the door. I didn't bring her in, so now she's mad at me. I don't have a dog because I do a lot of traveling, and I'm never home at times, so I don't want to do that to a puppy dog. Breakdown containing pious to humans. Poisonous or pious? I think that's a kind of a thing. So anyway, I did order some potassium iodide just because some craziness going on over in Russia. It had me a little nervous. If you have questions in that or things in that, please jump in chat. I really like the interactive chat. That makes things go back easier. We use Lugos every morning. Yep, radiation accelerator. So I just ordered 2 bottles of 240 doses each. Just thought it was time to have that here. No reason why I didn't before. That was kind of my mistake there. So you got the sausage, you got the bacon, got the potatoes ready to cook. When the green peppers were producing, I will throw those in there. Actually, I brought those plants in. I bet you I have one I can grab. So I brought the green pepper plants in. I'll keep them in the winter. I do have a green pepper. Not a very big one, but it's there. And it's good for adding flavor in there. I will throw that in later. The potatoes will take the longest to cook. All right, who else got coming in here? Graybeards. Yeah, it used to be red. But, you know, age kind of turned it a little bit different. I've been letting it grow out a little bit. I generally keep it more trimmed. But then usually October, November, December, I let it grow out and get thicker. In this case, somebody wants me to play Santa Claus or something like that. The house, so I got the shirt on. Basically, from my dad, you're cold, throw a shirt on. I keep the thermostat set at 60 when I'm here. When I leave the house, I drop it down to 58. Yeah, mine too. What little hair I have. So basically, got that going. Probably I can throw the potatoes in there and let them cook at the same time. So, fresh ground pepper grinder. Wife and I got this when we were in Galena, Illinois. I think when we first got married. Bought this over 30 years ago. Everybody's been following me. Yesterday was our 30th wedding anniversary. We bought that, and we bought these tongs at a store, and the sign on the store says, "You are expected to buy something when you're here." And I thought that was pretty cool. So we did. The vegetable scraps I put in a coffee can I got back there. And I throw that out in the garden. As trying to think of the word, lost it for a minute. To improve the soil, so vegetable pieces, coffee grounds, and eggshells go back to the garden. And that helps me grow more stuff come the end of the year. Kind of sad that the garden is done. About 5 years, yep. I did pick up some extra, USA Prepping, how we doing? I did pick up some extra seeds. I found some that I had stored away. So now I know where those are at for next year. I also saved a lot of seeds out of, I had some heirloom tomatoes that produced really well, so I saved the seeds out of those. So basically we got the potatoes going in here. They will cook it at a low, medium heat. They will probably take about a half hour to get cooked to where I need them. And then I'll add the green peppers, and I'll add 3 or 4 eggs. What for breakfast? Big fag breakfast is bacon, sausage, fresh potatoes from the garden, and then I'll have eggs on top of that with a glass of Fairlife milk. Take the vitamins after. And sometimes I use A1 steak sauce to put over the whole thing for flavor. As A1 steak sauce is not for steak. All right, if you put A1 on a steak, then you either bought a very poor steak or you don't know how to cook it. The steak should only be cooked on the grill. And a charcoal grill, in my opinion. So when I was working for a company, we went down to Dallas, Texas for 2 weeks for training. And I could not get, there's nothing wrong with grapefruit and oatmeal. I do eat that too. Actually, I like grapefruits. I do have oatmeal. Here's the star of the show. Let me bring in Banks. Hey, Kiki. Oh, I know. He just love to be picked up. So here's the star of the show. Binks. Hello there. So this is the cat that wouldn't come anywhere near me. And now it's my buddy. Even though it doesn't care to get picked up, but it's okay once you do it. But he likes attention. she's an outside cat, although she's trying to fight that. Ruby red grapefruit is really good. Absolutely. Steak and eggs, that's good. So steaks need to be cooked on a grill. We went to, we're in Dallas, Texas. We went to about 3 different restaurants, and I could not get a good steak. Now, I live up toward Chicago when I was younger, and Chicago cooks the best steaks. Steaks and pizza, that's what we're good for. But we were at a restaurant, and we ordered the steaks, and the waitress shows up, and the guy asked for A1 steak sauce, and she brought it, and then she goes, well, how's the steak? I said, well, he asked for steak sauce. I think that should tell you the steak's not good. So yep, that was Wildcat, and now is my buddy. Like I said, for 5 years it wouldn't get near me, and then back in 2019, it showed right up there at the door. Meowing, I opened the door, it didn't leave. I gave it a can of tuna, and that's how it started. Oh boy, I love you complaining because that's good nutrition, and that gives you a lot of energy, a lot of fuel for the rest of the day. So when I work out, because I'm trying to get into the gym so quickly, what I'll do is I will mix up a weight gainer shake. I needed the calories. So the shake between the milk and the weight gainer is about 1,000 calories. I chug that down. I watch John at Prepper Nation, and then I go to the gym. And I work out for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Sit there and have a protein bar on the way home, and then I will cook a meal, which is usually a late breakfast, which is going to be pretty much like this. And then about an hour later, I cook lunch. I just need the calories. I generally am about 3,500 calories a day, although sometimes I will do as much as 5,000. I was just told yesterday I have high cholesterol. For a woman, doctor told me too much beef. So cholesterol, here's a couple things that you can take for cholesterol. So your B complex is one of them. Here we go. So B3, niacin. It will lower your cholesterol. All right. Oats will lower your cholesterol. You can actually buy supplements that have a lot of oats in there if you don't want to eat oatmeal, and that'll help you. Arginine. Arginine. Arginine not only is good for your cholesterol, but it's great for your heart and circulation. I take a lot of arginine. Heredity-wise, my cholesterol is high. But the last time I had it checked, I stopped taking all the cholesterol medicines. They were just kind of tearing me up. They had me on 3 of them. I stopped taking them. I now take the niacin. I take the arginine. I exercise heavily, and my cholesterol was only about 230. And the doctor says, well, your cholesterol is a little high. I said, it's rarely that low. So something's going to kill me. But I do take things, I do steps to kind of keep my cholesterol level. My EKG was excellent. My blood sugar is excellent. My blood pressure is excellent. He was actually, I think he was kind of disappointed. He said, because at my age, I should be having high blood pressure. I should be having high sugar levels. And I don't. And also when he looked at my chart, he said he was going to talk to me about being severely overweight until he seen me walk in. And he realized I'm just a big guy. I'm not really overweight. Because if you check those charts, they are ridiculous. All right, I'm 6'4", currently weigh 240. And those charts want me to weigh 60 pounds less. And that is not happening, folks. But yeah, I did take the meds for a while, but one time I took all 3 at the same time and almost ended up in the hospital. I reacted to it very poorly. And so I stopped taking them. I just didn't think it was a good idea anymore. Hey, Old Farms, how you doing? If I haven't said hello already. So I got the potatoes going. Generally what I'll do is I'll break up the sausage once it cools down and throw it back into the mix. And this is one of my favorite breakfasts, especially with the fresh potatoes. Take Potatoes and rice are excellent sources of calories, and it's easier to store the rice than it is potatoes. But basically, I'm down to, I think, my last 8 potatoes from the garden. Gonna be sad when they go. Let me see. Preparedness veteran, how we doing? Those BMI charts are a joke. Yeah, they are. I had a young lady I used to train argue with me about that, and I was like, seriously, you see how I look. You think 60 pounds off would be healthy. That's what the charts say. I said, yeah, the charts are not realistic. Okay. Maybe realistic if you're, on nothing but vegetables and fish diet, but I carry too much mass. I compete, so I do need the weight. Had a really good workout. The last 3 workouts have been excellent. Really starting to feel like my old self. So I'm looking forward to that. I will be doing a competition December 10th in Peoria. I'm going to go after a national record in the 60 to 64 class, 242-pound weight class, which I should be able to destroy. Yep, garlic, cinnamon, and turmeric is good for high blood pressure. It's also good for as an antibiotic also. So there's a lot of great things out there. Casey Little Owl does a great job of covering that. If you get a chance to check her out on that. And also, John, I like listening to. Also, Rudy at the Alaska Prepper is a great one. Great man when he gets back on after he gets his house back in order. Probably my main channels I watch too. Then you've got Van City Prepper. You've got Northern Girl Hobbies, which they need to come over here and start listening. Chromium is great for, and so the chromium I'm getting in a multivitamin, but some of the other ones I am going to sit there and start taking in larger quantities. Like I said, I haven't taken vitamin D all summer except in multiple, because generally I'm outside and I'm getting more than that 15 minutes of sun exposure because it was warm and I didn't have the long shirt on. Like I said, after breakfast I will go for about a 3-mile hike, and then I also probably do some lifting with the dumbbells that I leave outside. Raspberry tea. Well, I haven't had raspberry tea for a while. Got blackberries out there. Yeah, those, we enjoy those this summer. So this is the first year they actually produced. So I was happy about that. And then, of course, the apple tree. So I've got some applesauce I need to pick up. My friend's significant other made me a bunch of applesauce from the bucket of apples I dropped off to them. And they kept some for themselves, of course, which I would expect. And then I'll probably, maybe Thursday, take my bull for a walk. Deer season is open, and I do know where they bed in the morning. I have been able to sneak up on them with the camera a few times. So maybe I'll see if I have luck when I take the bull with me next time. So what I do is I just kind of break all this up into chunks, throw it back into the potatoes. The green peppers I'll throw in last because they take the least amount of time to cook. Then you drop about 3 or 4 eggs over the top. Put them back in the dish. And then a little Oregon Coast. Yeah. So I planted those blackberries 10 years ago. Actually, I almost even forgot about them. And I just happened to be there by the pond. And I said, hey, let me go get a jar. There's a bunch of blackberries there. Also, I have trapped a lot of bluegill out of the mud creek down the road and put in my pond. So I will probably fish about 10 of those out and flay them up and have a little fish fry. And I do it at this time of the year to decrease the number of bluegill in the pond purposely, so they don't get oxygen starved when ice flows over. Now I will try to break holes in the ice when I think of it, if we get long periods of coldness, so that you get that swap of CO2 and oxygen. But sometimes I just get busy and I kind of forget. But the blackberry bushes are about 30 years old. Oh, there you go. So they produce pretty well this year, and hopefully they'll spread out, and I'll get more next year. But then I planted some more raspberries, but we'll see what happens. Sometimes they just don't take the first year. It takes a couple of years for them to break through, I guess. And then the garden, probably going to keep the garden about the same size, but I will add, so I did 5 grow bags of potatoes this year. I'll probably do at least 7, maybe 10 this year. I did order some more grow bags. It was kind of funny. Amazon sent them to me along with 2 pair of jeans, and then they refunded my money saying, well, we're sorry it didn't get shipped. I'm like, it did, but okay. So the grow bags I like, I only had 1 tour so far because I tried to tip it over where there's too much soil in there. Black walnut trees. Wow. Buddy's got black walnuts. He's supposed to bring me some over next spring that I can transplant. My grandma had a bunch of those too. So feel free to ask anything about nutrition or exercise while you're here. Good questions become videos. I have made a few videos because the subscribers asked me to. One of the later ones I did was exercise that you can do in a chair. Make sure the chair has a supportive back. With dumbbells or even soup cans, anything that's got weight. I did a whole series on vitamins and minerals. Just brought in my berry plants last night. I do all raised bed gardening. I have only 1 inch of soil over a bunch of old concrete. Okay. So I'm starting to slowly do raised beds. I'm using the grow bag, but I do have a raised bed when I did my tomatoes in. And the first year it was only 6 inches high, and then I added another one, so it's a foot high, and then I'll add another layer next year, but it's all soil in there. But I'm in the Midwest, I have plenty of black soil to use. And had a huge turnout in the tomatoes there. So I canned a bunch of tomatoes, I canned a bunch of salsa, I canned a bunch of pickles. So I'm pretty well set for the year on that. And then next year, I won't do sweet corn. I did sweet corn, and all I did was I fed the raccoons. I got like maybe 8 years out of it before the raccoons just totally helped themselves. So too much effort for the return. So no sweet corn next year. What I'll do is I'll probably plant more beans and more potatoes and things like that. The cucumbers, I had a bumper crop this year, and they produced a lot longer than I thought they would. Acorn squash, I still got a 5-gallon bucket full of acorn squash. We have one about once a week. I've actually given away some to the neighbors too. What else? Zucchini, yellow squash. Watermelon didn't do well. What happened is we got dry, and it never got enough water to ripen. So usually I have a very good turnout with watermelon, but not this year. The cantaloupe I had a good turnout with. So I had a lot of cantaloupe to eat. That was really good. Radishes did okay. The carrots I can still dig up. Onions, I did well with onions. And the nice thing about onions, you can actually plant onions now, and they'll pop up in the spring, right through the snow. Let me see what we got. Indian mountain corn. Animal feed, okay. And make brooms, my garden this year, as well as elephant grass for animals forage. Oh, cool. Peppers made it. So the peppers I pulled out, I have them actually in the house in 3-gallon buckets. Cut them down. Come springtime, I'll put them back out and replant them in the 30-gallon grow bags. and probably should do. One year I did grow a lot of Indian corn. I grew some Indian corn that got like 12 foot tall. And well, I don't know if I still have those pictures. If I do, I'll try to post them. They were on an older phone, but literally there's one where I'm sitting in the middle of that corn and the corn is way over me. So that was pretty cool. The dogs ate okra. I don't think that's anything I've ever knowingly ate. It's probably been in some foods that I've had, but I'm probably not aware of it. I don't plant it. I do see the seeds. So I put about a 60 by 60 foot garden in this year. And what I had 12 grow bags and one raised bed. So a very successful one. I'll probably keep it about the same size next year. I'll just be adding more grow bags. So those extra 6 grow bags I bought will go where I had planted the corn. Didn't know that. I had a dog who used to eat my apples. And we left the dog outside because of that, because those dogs eat a lot of apples. They have issues. Not good ones. But I thank everybody for stopping in. I appreciate it. It's my kitchen. All right. Stove is going to get replaced here pretty soon. The oven had stopped working a while ago. I've had this stove for 22 years. So we got one that's getting delivered on Saturday. Then I got to call the LP company, have them come hook it up, or I'll have to do it. You've got to convert them. You can't run a natural gas stove on LP, otherwise you will have some serious burners. I had somebody, when I used to sell appliances, did that to me. They bought some high performance range top. Told me they were going to have natural gas. They didn't. And they called me about a year later saying they had burnt their 3rd set of cookware. And then I had written a note on the order and asked, well, did you ever get that natural gas in, or are you on liquid propane? Oh, we're on liquid propane. So, okay, you got to stop using it. Those are not 15,000 BTU burners. Those are 45,000 BTU burners, and you got to stop using it. And I was able to get it converted. So, the range 20 years, I did well. I put an igniter in there, and it might be what's wrong with it this time, but you just can't get the parts. The next one is going to have a more powerful power burner. It's going to have a 5th burner in there, and it's going to be a convection range. So, and it's going to cost me the same amount that this one cost me. So that's not bad. The fridge I just replaced, I had that fridge for almost 28 years. And the same thing, I paid for about this fridge, about the same amount I paid for the other one, but it's a lot more efficient. It's just kind of those things. So I'll have 2 new appliances. Microwaves are microwaves. Got the little oven over there that we've been using in the interim. Crock pots and rice cookers and all that good stuff. We always make sure we have stuff to cook with. So today is kind of my relaxing day. Relaxing day is a 3-mile hike. It's some lifting outside with the 45-pound plates or dumbbells. Tomorrow I'll be in the gym for squats and military presses. Thursday is another day similar to this where I do a hike. I also throw discus. I did take the gold in the Illinois State Senior Games. So I qualified for nationals next year in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in July. So I need to get about another 20 feet on my throw. Good amount, Granny. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. And then Friday is my second bench day, and then some other sort of exercise. And then generally Saturday and Sunday are my days to enjoy, even though I do work Sunday for the overtime. But it is what it is. Otherwise, that's kind of what I do during the year to stay in shape. I always recommend people to do something at least 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week, to help your physical health. And then if you feel better physically, you feel better mentally. So I think it's stronger muscles, stronger tendons, stronger bones. There's just too many good things happening there. So I'm almost done here. Probably about another 5 minutes. And everything should be just about perfect. I'll pour my glass of milk here so I can put it back. Like I said, 13 grams per serving, 8-ounce serving. I usually drink about 20 ounces at a shot. No pun intended. You want at least a half a gram of protein per body weight if you're active. And you can't eat it all at the same time. So it's something that you need to eat over time. Generally, your body can handle about 30 to 50 grams per meal. Breakfast tends to be a very heavy meal for protein, just the way, because you have eggs, and you have bacon, and you have milk. All those are really great sources of protein. Well, lunch generally is going to be a higher carb one. Well, if you can make it here, I'll throw more on. It's just as easy to cook for 2 or 3 as it is to cook for 1. Actually, it's easier to cook for 2 or 3 than it is for 1. Yeah, it is, when you come visit the MacBean farm, you never leave hungry. That's one of the rules. I fire up a grill. I got steaks. I got potatoes. I got corn, beans, whatever. We're gonna cook it up. Beans, and broke my ankle earlier this year. Ugh. Yeah, it has. So yeah. So Raven, I just did a video on arm and shoulder exercises you can do in a chair. So if you go to my channel, it's not that far back. It's maybe 20, 30 videos back there, and you can watch that. And do it with light weights, and start out light, start out slow, and that definitely can help you out. Because obviously walking and treadmill is going to be an issue. But then again, with the ankle and that, maybe if you can join a YMCA or something that has a pool, then that would be great to do. I remember when I broke my ankle decades ago in softball. Once that cast came off and I looked at that skinny little calf I had, like, oh my God. I got into my buddy's pool, and for like 3 days, I was just walking in the pool the whole time because it's very buoyant. And by the end of the week, I was walking normal. And by the end of the month, I was running. And by the end of the summer, I was running full blast. Now, the only side step with broken ankles for about 10 years, I could tell you when a storm was coming. Because it would swell up when the barometer dropped and start aching. Now, it doesn't do that anymore, thankfully. It finally, healed 100%, and it doesn't swell up, and I can't tell the weather with it anymore. But for a while, I could. But yeah, so you can do that. You can do exercises in a chair, where you've got, light dumbbells, or even, soup cans or whatever. Things like that, things like that, things like that. All right? Like that. All those exercises will get the blood moving. Just do it for at least 30 minutes, 3 days a week, and that'll get the heart up there, and definitely will help you. Because with your ankle, that's going to be hard to walk, especially if you're still in some sort of a cast or supporting equipment. But that would be my suggestion. All righty. So here it is. Woo, woo, woo. And this is eating good in the neighborhood. And I'm kind of glad I'm back to the regular 8-hour days. I was doing 10-hour days in the middle of the week. And it was not giving me enough time to get things done. So, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. I'll let it cool down a little bit. And then if I thought it was necessary, I don't think it is this time, I would throw some A1 steak sauce over it for flavor. And generally, this is when I take my vitamins throughout the meal and that. Like I said, in the summer, it's basically only the multivitamin and the B and that. But now that the weather is changing, it is time to ramp it up. So there's my 1,000 milligrams of C, 50 milligrams of zinc, and vitamin D. Even though I will be outdoors, I will be dressed a little bit more. So those are your main ones for immunity. And that was the one thing I found surprising, during the pandemic, is they did not talk about taking vitamins and minerals. They talked about go get a shot. Right, and the thing of it is, they should have been talking about vitamin C and zinc and vitamin D, and elderberry, and turmeric, and all these other things that would definitely make you better able to fight off any sort of diseases. So, but that is what it is. Not much I can say about that. Evidently, I like to thank AT&T for being kind enough to give me a signal. One of the reasons I have it, and can't explain it, but the cornfield that I had to the north of me and to the east of me and to the west of me are down. And for whatever reason, when the corn is up, my hotspot signal is garbage. So I'm kind of glad that that is no longer the case. Potatoes are done. That's good eating. So I want to thank everybody for stopping in and for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. If you're not subscribed, I invite you to do so. I also have memberships. Not that I ever have to use Slow Chat, because I don't. Not this time. Maybe in 10 years. But members, after 6 months, get a free Scottish Fitness t-shirt. And they also can email me for workout plans and nutrition plans. And if they want to pop on Messenger for video chat, I will do an hour video chat once a month to discuss your goals and how things are going. Beaverines, thank you, Paradise Acres, for stopping in. So remember, rest, nutrition, and proper exercise. Members can sit there and email me at scottishfitness@gmail.com for nutrition and workout routines. And then after 6 months, I'll send you a shirt if you so want one. You also can buy the shirts. Send me an email at scottishfitness@gmail.com. They're $30. They're high quality, 90% cotton. They're really nice shirts. Let me know what size. And I can ship to the 50 states. That will include shipping. So I'm going to sit there and eat. No need for you guys to watch me eat. But thank you once again. We got 36 likes. So that helped out a lot. And I will see most of you again tomorrow on Prepper Nation. And then also about 10 o'clock Central Time, I will be at the gym with live streaming squats and militaries. So Beaverines, everybody have a wonderful day. And thank you very much for dropping in. Hey, Dylan, thanks for stopping in. Remember, thumbs up, subscriptions, joins. Have a wonderful day, exercise, all that good stuff.